One of the problems that you face whilst learning to pickpocket is, how do I practice? With lots of other art forms, particularly magic, it's actually quite an easy thing to do. You can pick up a pack of cards and you can practice the moves, the techniques as much as you like at home, in front of a mirror. But with pickpocketing, you really do need to do it for real to get the best learning experience. Now, of course, there are alternatives. You can, if you have access to a mannequin or a tailor's dummy, you can of course dress the mannequin up, and you can practice some of the technical steals. But that's as much as you get. You get the technical moment. The going into the pocket with the two fingers, or the angles that you might use. The problem is that they're not human beings. They don't move. The height is constant. You're not having to deal with different angles and different sizes of people, and you're certainly not having to deal with natural movement of the human body. And you're not able to practice any of the attention management that really does make pickpocketing work. The technical side of it is only a small fraction of the full picture. So, if you wish to use a mannequin or a dummy, or simply hang a jacket over a coat hanger and suspend it from a door frame, this will give you some idea and some indication. You can put a coat over a chair, and raise the chair high enough so the coat is at sort of shoulder level, and practice that way. But all of these things are quite limited in the efficacy of your practice. Personally, I would suggest that in the early stages, you find a friend or a member of the family who's willing just to spend 5 minutes at a time to put a jacket on, and for you to go through the techniques. Don't be trying to fool them. Don't try and do it as a real act of pickpocketing. Just get the idea, get the flow, get the rhythm right for you. The real way to practice, and I'm going to be blunt with you on this one, is that you have to do it. Add it in a small amount at a time. If you're already a performing magician, you are used to approaching people and interacting in a number of ways. And if the only trick you did was a vanish of a coin, you show the coin's gone, tell them it's gone into their trouser pocket. As you do so, reach in with your fingers to clip the item inside, and then produce it from somewhere else, from the lining of the trousers, or jump across to somewhere else, or so it's not in here, it's under your arm as your moment of misdirection for the steal. It's a good place to start. Little and often. Do something as often as you can. Take any opportunity to just have a practice. Also, be honest with people. If you're working with, if you're going to do this with maybe colleagues, or even friends and family, tell them, I'm learning to do this. Can I try something out? Can I, or even can I show you how, what I've learned so far? It cushions the blow. It's, you're setting the frame so you don't have to be perfect. Your reputation isn't on the line. But equally so, once you get into the flow of it and you've had a little bit of time just to get the techniques, the very basics down, start adding it into your performance. Seize the moment. Take the little opportunities that your close-up performance allows you. Even sort of taking just one or two items now and again, taking something out from the lapel jacket, just as you open their jacket up and you can remove it, at the same time as you ask them a question, you gain eye contact, or you ask them to look down into their jacket pocket or to read the label for you. There's multiple ways that allow you to get this close. So follow the ideas within the training course, the technical side of it. Pay great attention to the attention management and the misdirection, because that's really what this is about. The physical act of removing something from the pocket is totally secondary to maintaining their attention. But think about it like this. If you're a magician watching this and you have learnt to do a pass or a top change, or some other technical move that happens under the gaze of the spectator, you're already used to doing something which is very technical under sort of quite a lot of pressure, under a lot of heat while people are staring at you, and you're already able to shift their attention up to your face or to somewhere else as you do the move. Now the reality is, Almost all of the techniques themselves, the action of removing an item from a pocket, is technically less demanding than a pass or a top change or a cull or something else. Yeah, what you're learning here is easier to do, technically speaking, than the majority of the stuff you've learnt as a magician. All that's changing now is the context, and as long as you remember to maintain that relaxed physiology, and you're in the moment, you're not thinking about the future or the past, you're staying in the now in that relaxed way, it's going to come really quickly. You're going to develop these skills very quickly, little and often. Just add bits and pieces here. See an opportunity, take it. Literally take it. Okay. The worst case scenario is that somebody catches you, and the real key to dealing with those moments is to not make anything of them. You know, don't panic, don't become apologetic and like, oh no, I've been caught. Who cares? Move on. It's no different than if you were doing magic, close-up card magic, for example, and for whatever reason you kind of miss that moment. You know, you have the peak and you lose the little finger break, and it happens to us all. And you know that this isn't the end of it. All it means now is you've just got to do something else. If you classic force somebody and they don't take the right card, and it's integral to the trick that you're about to perform, what do? Well, you do a different trick. And you don't make any comment about it, you don't make a big deal about it, you simply move on. And that's the mentality that you should have when you're developing these skills as a pickpocket. Right at the very early stages, if you're going to steal something from a pocket and the person goes, you know, hey, I felt that, I caught you, you just go, yeah, oh well, I'm learning, and you move on, you carry on, you take out your pack of cards, you do a different trick. You know, you take out your pad, you do your next mentalism routine. It really isn't going to matter. It's just part and parcel of your developmental process. And it's so much more about the attitude that you have more than anything else. And of course, the other part of practice that you should remember is don't have an expectation of being some kind of ghost-like ninja. You know, you don't have to kind of be perfect from day one. You know, this isn't like it is in the films where you simply brush past somebody and suddenly you have their watch on your wrist. The reality is more often than not when you're pickpocketing, they are aware that your hand is going into their pocket. You're doing it openly. You're telling them, look, I'm putting my hand in. I'm looking at what you've got. The key is that their attention is moved away in the moment that it's taken out. Yeah, I'm happy for you to see my hand go in your pocket. I'll tell you exactly what I'm doing. I'm putting my hand in. I'm looking to see what you have in there. But immediately I'm bouncing your attention away to other things as I steal the item, and I'm not allowing you to regain your balance. I did Aikido and a number of other martial arts as a child, as a young adult as well. And one of the things I learned about that is this idea of never allowing your opponent to regain their balance. And there's a real similarity in the flow of pickpocketing. You know, I'm taking your attention and I'm bouncing it somewhere else. I'm giving you lots of things to think about. But what I'm not permitting you to do is to come back to this original moment. There's always something else to think about, something else to look about, something else to take in, a question, a statement, a look, an instruction. And all of these things move you further and further and further and further away from the point of origin. So by the time I come to reveal this, like any good time misdirection, it becomes almost impossible, if not entirely impossible, for your brain to backtrack to that moment and for you to put those pieces back together again. Okay, so practice is all about being willing to get out and do this. In so many areas of your life, you'll learn something that has a theoretical and a practical base. And if all you ever do is the theory and you never put it into practice, you'll go nowhere. The real key is to take that step. You know, you might call it a leap of faith, or just a big step. Whatever you refer to it as, it's important that you do that. You can go to as many courses as you like. You can become what I like to call a course junkie, the kind of person that signs up to every single, for me, the people I noticed were hypnosis course junkies, the guys that would go to every single hypnosis course imaginable. Collect as many certificates as they possibly could for attendance to these things, fill their bookshelves up with hypnosis books and memorabilia, but never really do it. They lacked the and it's not really confidence as such, it's will more than anything else. They lacked the will just to take that step to putting it into practice, because maybe for them the fear of failure was so great, but that's because they didn't understand the notion of failure. That it's only failure if that's how you perceive it. If you're willing to take these ideas, the soft skills that I've taught on this program and the technical skills, and put those together and be willing to take the next step to doing them, you'll find out how easy this is. There's another way to practice, of course, and that is after you've done it yourself and you've put this into practice, take the opportunity to meet up with other people who have done this course or other courses. Spend time with them. Go out and have some fun with them. Don't be afraid of performing pickpocketing as a street entertainment. As long as you are honest and open about what you're doing, as long as you've set the framework around this moment of entertainment appropriately, you won't have issues and problems. A lot of people are scared of practicing because they think that they're going to be accused of theft, or it shows them in a bad light, or a dishonest person. But in my experience, that just isn't the case. As long as I set the frame right, as long as people understand that this is an entertainment moment, that you're not being scammed, that everything is returned to you, which is very obvious because I'm maybe showing it to other people. If I'm in the street and there's, if I'm pickpocketing, say, some guy, I will purposefully hand everything that I take to a trustworthy friend of his. If it's his girlfriend or his wife, I'll give her the things that I take off him, because that makes it so evidently clear to everybody watching that this is just entertainment. There's nothing malevolent about it or insidious about it at all. It's just good, honest, free, fun entertainment. Best way to practice has always been and will always be to do.